Welcome to ABC123 Trader. What I'm going to be showing you today is the ABC123 Trader system. This system looks like it's quite complicated, but it's actually very simple to use. I'll give you an example on the NQ chart, and I'll also show you currently what the ES chart is showing. I just want to show you all the different parameters, what is being displayed before we get into the indicator itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a blank chart, which we have, and then what I'm going to do is go through the parameters one at a time. So what we have is many different options available for the system. And what we try to do is we try to pinpoint trades in order for us to stay in the trade properly. So basically the very first thing, all I want to show you is the baseline. This is the current baseline on the chart. And basically all we want to do is try to stay above the trend. This is a trending system. So when you're below the baseline, you want to trade below the trend, and when you're above the baseline, you want to trade above the trend. But what I did is I added more and more options to it so we can pinpoint our trades. And as you can see, you can get whipped out for going up, and from going up on an uptrend, and then it whips back down to a downtrend and an uptrend, and you're always wondering what's going to happen next. So what I did to the baseline indicator, I'll let her load up. And what I did is actually I'm looking at a 1 minute chart here, as you can see in the top right hand corner. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to extend my baseline to a 5 minute time frame. And it's actually not a 5 minute time frame. It's actually much farther than that. But it's trying to do a calculation on momentum. It does calculations on just market conditions, etc. So what you have here, we added our baseline, and then what I'm going to do on the second part, I'm going to add a baseline cloud. So this is the baseline cloud, and the key is on the system, what you want to do is trade as much as possible outside of the cloud. Once you break this cloud, we want to follow the cloud on our trade. This is actually current time and is trading live right now. But basically, if I was out of the cloud at this point in time, currently on the NASDAQ I'd be already up $800. So this is what the basic methodology of the baseline, or actually the ABC123 trade system. So if you're above the cloud, we want to trade above the cloud, and if we're below the cloud, we want to go below the cloud. So on the features on the cloud itself, I wanted to actually try to pinpoint trades, and so this is the key for the trade system, is using the standard deviation for the cloud. If you don't use the standard deviation, you won't be able to use your stops, your ellipses, etc. So as soon as I add the standard deviation to the system, it looks the same, but what the nice thing is now we can start using our ellipse options, our stop options, etc. So now with the standard deviation running right now, what we're going to do is I'm just going to display a regular ellipse. And what this ellipse does, helps you show areas of interest of where to enter a trade or exit a trade, pending if you're already in the trade on a long run, so you can get out. If the ellipses are too small, we also have options for increasing the size and the opacity of the ellipse. As you can see, they're much darker, but we know our areas of interest. Now, what happens is if we miss our trade and it comes back in and pops out again, let's say farther down the road, what I also added was a retracement ellipse. So what the retracement ellipse is, it's a different color. It will show areas of interest as we just broke out of the trend, or out of the cloud, came back in, we attempted the second time, but all these yellow circles are breakout trades, and the weak color ones currently are pullbacks to the point for a second attempt. So as you can see here, we tried to break out and there was a lot of support and resistance, and we finally took off. Then we had another attempt for going up and down the cloud. Okay. Next phase, what we're going to do on adding onto the cloud, what you can do, let's go farther down here, you can display your stops. You can have a stop line, and also it will give you a font, not a font, but it will give you the number of ticks from your stop to the beginning of the trend cloud, so you know your risk and reward. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to apply our stop lines. And now, as you can see, from the current trade tonight, if I was trading tonight, there we go. I had 8 ticks of risk for trying to get into the trade, which is $40, compared to currently we know as $800 profit. And once you start seeing groupings like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we know there's a lot of support and resistance, so you might be able to get scalp a little bit lower for the next trade. The other options, what we can do now, is trying to find out from our stops. We can also use a scalp line. The scalp line is a very, very, and you could use it for trending purposes, or making sure you're getting in the right side of the trend early. So as you can see, we were trending up, we did a retracement, market was pushing up, we're trying to break, and as you can see, where the first colored bars of the scalping line was our perfect opportunity to enter the trade. We know it was coming down, we were trying to break out, nothing was happening, it does a retracement, now we can start seeing stair stepping up, and away we go. Now, with that being said, we also have other options. We'll go down here. We add our trend lines so we can know if we're trending properly, see if it's going to break the trend. So currently our trend on the baseline is angling this way, so we could possibly come down really deep and bounce again the second time. But one of the questions I was always wondering on this cloud system, this trade system, is where to enter the trades. I've showed you the areas of interest of entering is breaking out the trade, which is my favorite one. If it does a retracement early, we can get it on the midline and take it for our second attempt. But on longer trades, what we want to do is, sometimes we're wondering, are we on the right side of the trade or not? So what I added on the main cloud, I added a secondary cloud, and I'm going to add the standard deviation and the cloud, and I'll put the line on here as well, and I added a longer time frame to it. So basically there are 2 clouds into one. So as you can see now, it's a 2-clouded system. And you might ask, why am I doing a 2-clouded system? This main cloud here, the pink line, or the pink cloud, is my trading cloud. But what I really wanted to know on a longer time frame, I'm actually going to go to 5 minutes here. On a longer time frame, I want to see exactly if I'm on the right side of the trend. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to pinpoint a trade. As you can see the consolidation right here, we're trying to pinpoint a trade to get into the trade on the long haul. So that's why there are 2 clouds. We're looking close up on the pink cloud and far away, a longer trend on the longer time frame cloud. So let's go back to the 1-minute chart, which I like the most for trying to enter a trade. And so as you can see now, this trend cloud of the longer time frame has been in the consolidation phase. And this is what I was getting up earlier, that from 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, it was very whippy, bouncing up and down, and you can know your other patterns of triangle and everything. But we know now that we could have got one quick trade here, a lot of consolidation, another one. It might have not been the greatest trade day for that day, but at least we were out of bad trades. But now, as you can see, from the scalping opportunity to get in early, from our regular trend of this is our main trade, to the longer time frame, we're off to the races. So currently tonight, still within, if I got on tonight on this trade, I'd be currently right now a little bit less now, around $700 within the trade. Now let's keep on going a little deeper into this indicator. Because I've created so many indicators, what I wanted to do is have some confirmation of when to enter a trade, because we see up candles, we have down candles, we've got trend lines, we've got secondary clouds. The nice thing about it is we can also color code our candles such that, as for this example, the gold or the orange is our buying opportunities and the blues are the selling opportunities. And if you're in the white, just be very cautious because we're getting into that consolidation phase. As you can see, we could have made some good profit going down, come back up, get into consolidation, attempt fail. But as you can see, the scalping line is saying, you know, better watch it. Go into here, we're breaking out, make a little bit of profit, scalping breaking down again, and we're off to the races, back and forth, back and forth. Now let's keep on adding the other options into this trade system. And open the indicator up. Okay, and whoops, sorry. What we're going to do, getting farther down the list, I added the institution line. Because one of the institution lines is an excellent area of support and resistance, and it kind of verifies if we're going to continue on the upside of the trade or downside of the trade, or if you know there's a serious pullback. The institution line is an excellent area for entering a trade once again. So I'm going to add the institution line. Actually, I'm also going to add the swing at the same time. So, as you can see on the institution line, when we were pulling back very aggressively back into the cloud, breaking down, we had our selling opportunity going down. And as you can see, we use the institution line as a target as well, because we looked like we were breaking down into the cloud, but we know there was support and resistance here. And this one little trade, we could have closed early to maximize our profits from here to here as another $500 trade from, let's say, 3 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning. So once you start breaking the institution line, as you can see, she wants to break down aggressively. And once again, well, we don't have the bottom here. We'd have to look to the left to trade life with support and resistance. But as you can see, the potential profit was still another $1,000 in that direction. And usually what you can do is, if you're above the institution line, while you're playing with your trend clouds, you know your bias is more to the upside than to the downside. So when I'm looking at the institution line, and I'm looking at the long-term baseline cloud, because it looked like it was consolidating here, I was still above this institution line, giving me more confidence of taking this trade for the long. I added swings for people who like swing trading to see the actual support and resistance by looking to the left of trade light to see if there's any consolidation or if there isn't consolidation. Now farther into this indicator or into the trade system, what we have, let's keep them going down here, we're going to be adding Fibonacci trading system as well. And I'm just going to add the options to it to make sure you're on the right side of the trade. And what it will do is it creates the if you know if you're going into an uptrend, a downtrend. It also have areas, suggested areas of if there is a pullback. This white line, this box, or this deep retracement yellow line might be a really good opportunity for it to pull down and slingshot back up. Because of the volatility in these past few examples, let's see if we can find one here. Right here. Let's open this up. Shallow retracement. Let's go in here. There we go. Uptrend was activated. We're above the institutional line as well, so we got even actually double confirmation. We wanted to take off. It looks like it was pulling back, saying maybe not. And as you can see, the bar literally hit it right onto the shallow retracement line and took off. And if you go farther back, you will find other areas of interest, such as another going along, deep retracement, right into this zone, taking off again. Another opportunity goes into the zone on the buy trend, and there you go. It shoots right up again. Plus, we have actually more than one confirmation. We've got the breakouts of the rings. We're above the institutional line for bias, plus it's getting into the pinpointing area of a zone of interest to get into the trade to try to grab your quick profits. But it will go over and over again in areas of interest. This one just broke out, so we can't use that one. But you will find it over and over again, such as this one right here. Up opportunity, one opportunity for a buy, second opportunity for a buy before it finishes off, and then on the selling page, because it's vibrating quite a bit, but as you can see, it retraced it into the red box for the sell. Okay, now let's keep on going farther into the indicator. Go in here, and with if you need targets as well, I added Fibonacci extension targets for the trending areas, and block parameters. I don't think I can show you right now until we have a high volume, and we'll add the trend tracker to it. And level 2, and we're pretty much done for this for now. So I'm going to add everything up onto the whole system so you can see exactly what's going to happen. So here's a trend tracker. So when you're on the right side of the trend, let's go into the current time frame today. And let's say you're just taking a short trade and you feel that the risk and reward of this cloud, you want to make a little bit more profit. You can use this green trend tracker as a potential for a potential stop. So if you wanted to cash out earlier, you can use the trend tracker from point A to point B, and we were done at somewhere around $700 before breaking down. I also use the trend tracker once I'm trying to get into a trade somewhere within the cloud, that if I am breaking down and have a good breakdown, and it's showing it right here, a red arrow, if it breaks through, will start saying we're breaking down on this opportunity. But on this example, for myself in trading, I will not take this trade because I'm just too close to the cloud at this point in time. If it was within the cloud, I'd probably take a look at it a little more seriously. And as you can see here, we have these red and yellow green lines, which is, as you can see, it actually literally hit the Fibonacci extension on the trend. So when the trend took off, it calculated it should hopefully go up to at least 161 before exhausting. So you could have taken, if you got into this trade, to maximize your profits once again before the retracement, from point A to point B, maximum potential was almost $1,000 on this trade. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, because of the markets being so slow tonight, the last two options I wanted to show you is the blocking and the level 2 retracement. I'm using an ES chart on this example, and I just kept the numbers low so you can literally see the level 2 numbers being activated, and showing areas of high limit orders waiting to be filled. These market and ask numbers are block orders from bigger players offloading their trades. What I do is on a really strong trending day, if I'm starting to see it trend up and up and up and up and goes like crazy, and you won't see any market or bid orders, and all of a sudden I start seeing a flood of ask or bid orders, usually what it kind of indicates is that they're finishing they're trading for today and they're reversing the trend. The levels 2s, as you can see in this example, what I'm going to show you, there's too many numbers here, but what I want to do is I want to just try to find the greatest support resistance out of this listing. Right here I see something a couple 100 levels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to switch this to a limit size of 100 or greater. Now when it loads up, it takes a few seconds and it's going to be starting to scan level 2. And when level 2 is finished, as you can see, there's 118 contracts on the lower area, so I'm looking, hopefully, to fill in these contracts to close if you're just going to take a trade to the limit line. And as you can see, if the market still keeps on pushing up, as you can see, 587 contracts is an area where I might look for my maximum target. And this is, and then you can see another group here. And this is the ABC123TradeSystem. I'm going to be adding, I think, one more option or two more options to the system. I just want to show you a little bit early on the website. I'm really excited with it. I've been trading for a little while, and I was trying to figure out the best combination. So in order to pinpoint your trades, to get in the trade, minimize your risk, and maximize your profits. And so far, how my system is designed, hopefully this will work for you. As you can see, well, tonight we know the trade tonight, this is ES, so on ES, trading tonight so far, I usually trade from baseline to baseline. I'm currently 7 points up, or 7.5 points up on, or to my stop if I ever get stopped out. Currently, the market is, let's see where we are on the trade. We're 11 points up for the night. Not bad from starting from 7:30 till, well, 7:38 or almost an hour and a bit. So there you go. And if you have any questions, feel free to just go on my ABC123 website. This will be becoming, this is one indicator itself. So I'm going to be putting it as a package. I already have I call it the trend pack. It has a few of these options, not everything. But this is going to be the trade system. And what the trade system will also, I think what I'm going to be adding to the trade system, I'm going to add one indicator. I got to parse it out because I know it works. I use this within all my trading methodologies. I'm going to turn a few things off here so I can show you exactly what I'm looking for. Good enough for now. There's going to be a percentage on the very top right-hand corner of the current market conditions, and on the very bottom of the corner, this 66 is actually the size and ticks of your trading cloud. That's what that tick range is. So once you get used to the system, you'll know when consolidation phase is within these numbers. Okay, well, thank you very much for this video, or watching this video. If you have any questions, go to our website at ABC123Trader. There's a question. There's a question on the bottom of the page, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you once again, and have a great day.